Coming up on ATV News, the Pike House has a member pleading guilty to charges related to the alcohol poisoning of a minor.
We'll tell you about a girl who's finding a new way to get around town.
And we'll take a look at the controversial viral YouTube video that originated from BYU campus.
These puppets have absolutely nothing to do with what's coming up on ATV Sports.
The weather is perfect today for outdoor dining, but will it hold out for dessert? We'll tell you more on ATV News.
Welcome to ATV News. I'm Kelsey Keller.
And I'm Randall Henry. A USU student has pled guilty to supplying alcohol to a minor.
Casey Justin Hofflow was charged with a Class B misdemeanor, which could result in 180 days in jail, $1,000 in fines, and possible probation. Last September, the Gamma Epsilon chapter of Pi Kappa Alpha was suspended after a minor was rushed to the hospital with apparent alcohol poisoning. Police spent several weeks investigating who had supplied alcohol to the girl, and recently, 2 men pleaded guilty to the cause. Casey Justin Hofflow was one of them. Members of his fraternity say the courts aren't the only thing that changed their fraternity.
Things are definitely different now, obviously, with the sanctions from the university, but I feel like we're on the right track to get things back to where they were and even in a better position.
Members of the fraternity are frustrated by the university probation, and all members are required to complete 20 hours of community service.
USU students are coming together for a good cause, and you can help. They are raising money for a fellow student who is missing something most people take for granted. Britta Anderson tells us how you can get involved and change someone's life.
Right now, Christy has an artificial leg that doesn't bend at the knee.
She was born without her leg bone fully developed and had to have her leg amputated as a very young child.
The prosthesis Christy currently has doesn't fit her properly and will often buckle, causing her to fall. This is why she needs a new one.
It'll give me more stability, and I'll be able to be more active.
She's never run. She's never really been into sports and stuff like that because her leg just hasn't allowed her to do that.
That would be kind of cool to be able to run. As I stand, you can tell that my hips are off center from where they should be, and that causes problems with my back of needing it to be straight, but right now it's curved because of it.
Christy's new leg will be computerized to bend as she walks, which will make it easier to do things like climb the stairs. But the cost is $20,000.
This is really on the low end of what a leg might cost. So we're not trying to get her the Cadillac, we're trying to get her something that will be useful for her.
We right now are selling bracelets, like this cute little yellow bracelet, and it says fearless, courageous, and determined.
They've spread all around the community.
Also, we're doing some yard sales and bake sales to get the word out.
Put yourself in Christy's position and recognize the help that she needs as a young person going to college without a budget for this kind of thing.
I cried the other day just because it's so neat to be able to have people come together for a cause.
Once Christy gets her new prosthesis, she wants to use any additional funds to do the same for others.
Wanting to continue raising money after she gets her new leg so that she can help others in her same situation.
BYU is said to be one of the harshest environments for the LGBT community. But what does that say about Utah State? Britta did some investigating and is standing by live with the story. Britta, what can you tell us?
Well, most of the people I spoke to were very open and empathetic to LGBT members, especially since the release of a YouTube video produced by a former student and faculty member at BYU.
My name is Heather Waddington, and I'm a senior at BYU, and I'm a lesbian.
Well, my name is Derek. I'm 24, a BYU student majoring in international relations, and I'm gay.
A video released on YouTube last Friday is the topic of many discussions. It addresses homosexuality in the LDS community, especially at Brigham Young University. Kendall Wilcox, producer of the short film, says it's targeted at LGBT youth to tell them there is somewhere to turn and that it does get better.
Is that okay?
There are people out there that will be a safe place for you. and I'm one of them.
We're trying to, sort of focus on how good it is getting and a happy future without denying sort of the sad history.
Wilcox also says that the video is to show that a harmony can be reached between homosexuals and the LDS Church.
In no way is this an anti-Mormon slant at all. In fact, it's pro-Mormon. It's pro-Mormon and pro-homosexual, which people go, it is possible.
One of the points made in the video is that BYU is an unfriendly campus for homosexuals. But what about here at Utah State?
There are people who obviously are unfriendly, but I've never experienced that, especially here at Utah State.
And when it comes to the impact of the video, Hunt says it's a positive sign.
I really think that it's a good step in terms of keeping gay Mormons within the church, because it will really make them feel less like outsiders.
Each of the 23 BYU students involved in the interviewing have their own full-length stories available online, all leading up to the release of Wilcox's documentary in August.
Okay, great. And where can we go to watch these stories, Britta?
If you go to YouTube and type in "It Gets Better" at Brigham Young University.
Okay, thanks, Britta. When we come back,
I'll show you what it takes to get healthy so that you can be ready for the summer shorelines.
and I'll show you some baby animals that are welcoming in springtime. The grass is growing greener, flowers are blooming, and baby animals are being born. It sounds a lot like spring, doesn't it? Well, I had the chance to hold some baby animals. Don't worry, it wasn't quite as big and intimidating as this guy behind me at one of Utah's biggest spring festival events. Baby lambs. Baby bunnies. Baby bears. Oh my. These are just a few of the animals that made an appearance at the American West Heritage Center out in Wellsville last weekend for the annual Baby Animal Days event.
It used to be just a small activity that was on our 1917 farm, and it grew bigger and bigger, and now it's become a 3-day festival, and we have usually between 15,000 and 19,000 people that come out.
And all those people of all ages come out to get hands-on experience with different farm animals, something that is becoming more of a rarity. And although these baby animals are lots of fun and really little, the American West Heritage Center hopes that perhaps these animals can serve a much bigger purpose to the community.
My grandparents had a farm when I was a kid, and we used to go out all the time and visit the farm, but nowadays those family farms are few and far between, so I think it gives people the advantage of coming to some place and letting the kids be exposed to what they were exposed to when they were younger and enjoyed. And it gives kids an idea of what farm life was like.
American West hopes to show the community how life used to be by taking families on a wild ride through history. So we won't forget where we came from. If you missed out on Baby Animal Days, don't worry. American West Heritage Center hosts similar events throughout the spring and summer. You can find a calendar of these events on their website.
Healthy eating has garnered a lot of attention in the past few years, and it's this attention that students are taking notice of healthy snack foods like green smoothies.
Crowds gathered into this classroom to have a chance to hear about the green smoothie girl herself, Robin Openshaw, and to hear about the health benefits provided by drinking the green smoothie.
You can get more of your nutrients through the juicing, but as to how, there's many different ways of juicing, and so she was just telling me a little bit about this method, and so that's why I came just to see.
Aside from talking about her signature creation, Robin also had health food paraphernalia for sale and other tips on how to eat healthier.
I like to travel a lot, and on one of my trips I got pretty sick, and so I'm just trying to build my health back, and I figured that this seemed like a really good way to do that.
During the presentation, it was stressed just how important a healthy diet is in maintaining your health and well-being.
Celery, carrots, apples, burritos.
Some people think that vitamins will solve all their nutritional needs. However, Others would argue that you don't get enough out of them. Lacking enzymes and other essential nutrients, raw green vegetables could be the healthier alternative.
Randall Henry, ATV News.
Whether you just have a personal reason to eat better or are wanting to have more energy, finding information on how to start can be as easy as going to your local Whole Foods store and just asking.
What would you do for 30 seconds of fame? Two boys right here at USU found out what it means to go viral on YouTube. Jessica Black talked to them to find out what it takes to get 1 minute of fame.
You believe that men and women can be just friends?
Yes. Yeah, of course. Yes, I do.
Why men and women can't be friends. This is the controversial topic Patrick Ramiro took on for his English class project. What he didn't expect was how YouTube fans would go crazy over the video.
We filmed it and edited it very fast, and we didn't take a lot of time on it. We posted it, and literally the next day I got calls from Provo, from different places. People had seen the video.
Usually when I do documentary style, the interviewer's not in it, but Patrick is such like a good character and like a good personality. I'm like, we should shoot you interviewing people with a microphone.
Would he hook up with you if you wanted to hook up?
Yeah.
So he likes you?
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is men and women can't be friends?
No, we can be friends.
But you're just friends, but he likes you?
The idea paid off, and responses from over 5 million viewers started pouring in.
They'll explain this whole long situation and they'll lay it out. It'll be from some guy in Africa or Saudi Arabia, and he'll be asking me, you know, like, here's the situation. There's this girl, like we're friends, and then literally, like I just finished reading like a 2-page email yesterday. Just like I'm some kind of professor, like I know how to solve their problems.
It was the best interview in my opinion. We went up to him, Pat just started interviewing him, and it was funny. And then he asked Bob, he's like, would you date her if you had the chance? And she was like right there, and he was like, yeah. It was just like super awkward.
For something that started out as a school project, used only school equipment, and took only 4 hours to make, Jesse and Patrick ended up with a viral YouTube sensation with over 5 million views.
It is impossible for men and women to be just friends. And under no circumstances can it happen.
Jessica Black, ATV News.
Their video has now reached over 6 million views and continues to grow in number each day. Stick around because right after this, we'll bring you to an organization that is bringing more smiles to more faces.
As well as show you how students think very differently, yet are finding ways to come together.
It's been great ultimate frisbee weather this week, but I've got a few surprises coming up for you on ATV Weather.
So Ryan, I hope you brought me good news about the weather, otherwise I'll be most disappointed.
Yeah, I finally actually ate lunch outside today, so am I going to be able to keep doing that, Ryan, or what's
Well,
going to happen?
the beginning of the week has been gorgeous, but unfortunately we do have a few surprises coming up this weekend, so let's take a look at our nation's highs and lows. Mother Nature has just been teasing us with this warm weather. Right now we're looking at the high 90s in southern United States, in Texas and Florida, but we're still sitting comfortable in Cache Valley with the mid 70s. Let's take a look at the air quality. It's pretty good right now. We're sitting around 40 to 50 parts per billion. We're still mostly green up in the north here with a little yellow on the eastern Utah right here. Let's take a look at the 5-day forecast. Today we're hitting a high of 72 and a low of 42 with a 30% chance of rain. Tomorrow we'll hit the high of 52 and a low of 36 with a 50% chance of rain, about the same story. Friday is going to be about the same, high of 52 and a low of 31. Saturday again we'll have a 50% chance of rain and a high of 54. Sunday is going to get a little bit warmer, up in 61 and a low of 35, but it's still going to be a 30% chance of rain. So hopefully we're not going to get rained out. If you do, carry your umbrella. That does it for me in ATV weather. Next is ATV Sports.
Welcome to ATV Sports. I know. All of the popular sports are done, but that doesn't mean that our athletes aren't still working hard. We've got softball, tennis, and spring football going on, and I've got the latest for you. The softball team sunk their cleats into the dirt yesterday, ready to take on the UVU Wolverines. But That doesn't mean the Wolverines didn't sink their teeth into the ball. UVU took the early lead in the game with a 3-run home run in the first frame. But the Aggies didn't stop fighting. Haley Frennan quickly returned the favor with a 2-run home run right over the left field fence. With the score 3-2, the Wolverines struck back with 3 more runs, racking up their lead by 4 runs. The Aggies hit 5 consecutive runs, getting the score to an even 6-6. The Aggies got their first lead in the game at the bottom of the 6th by freshman Jolene Coons, who hit a single to allow 2 Lady Ags to bring the score to 8-6. UVU can only answer back with 1 more run, and the Aggies won by 8-7. They have a doubleheader going on right now down at the softball field, so let's hope they can scratch out a W against the Weber State Wildcats. The football team came out with their schedule last week for the 2012 season. We've got some tough opponents this season, which will be great for the Aggies as they build their team from last year's season. Now, here's the graphic for you. We're open up the season with Southern Utah. Then we've got a big game at home, a TV game against Utah. And we, of course, play BYU down at BYU because they're too scared to come play us up here. And then the season ends on November 24th in Romney Stadium. Now that the schedule is released, scrimmages have started and the guys are excited to be back on the field. The team went through about 100 plays in their first scrimmage, and offense was led by senior running back Kerwin Williams with 10 rushes for 64 yards and a touchdown. Sophomore quarterback Chucky Keaton came back and he had 147 yards passing, including a 38-yard touchdown toss to senior wide receiver Matt Austin. And let's not forget the other quarterback, senior Adam Kennedy, who added 80 yards passing. Austin led the receiving corps with 3 catches for 58 yards and a touchdown. While there's a new guy on the team, junior Jordan Jenkins added 4 catches for 45 yards. USU's defense was led by freshman linebacker Travis Parrish with 6 tackles, and with senior cornerback Terrence Alston adding 5 stops and an interception. Coach Anderson was really excited about the way the first scrimmage went.
A couple things that glared at me. I thought we ran the ball pretty well with the ones, and obviously we didn't stop the run very well with the ones. I felt like we had too many penalties. The snaps with the second team, they're not nearly good enough with the offense. It throws things off time and time again. We got to get much better at that.
Yeah, it felt good having our first scrimmage out here on the field. I feel like we got to get a lot better. Technique as far as DBs, got to get a lot better. But as far as first scrimmage, it wasn't too bad. As far as that pick, we was in zone coverage, so last play of the game, just played the ball, pick. So.
The first blue and white spring game is on April 28th at 2 p.m. Make sure to get out and support the guys. It was Utah State women's tennis team's last match yesterday, and the ladies came out ready to get some wins on their last chance on the court. The ladies took on the Idaho Bengals yesterday, and Mackenzie Davis brought the fire to both in doubles, where her and Jackie West made a clean sweep of the Bengals, and in singles, she kept a hold of the #1 spot. Jackie West pushed her match to 3 sets, but she came out with a dramatic win against the Bengals. And our very own Romina Didakovic took down her match in just 2 sets. It's good to see the ladies do so well in their last home match, and we wish them luck as they head to the WAC tournament in a couple of weeks. Guys, I'm pumped for football season. What sports are you excited for?
Jousting.
Well, you know the Summer Olympics are coming up, so I guess we'll get a little bit of everything there. That'll be good. Yeah.
So, coming up next, you guys can find out how to utilize both sides of your brains.
And how smiles are changing lives around Cache Valley.
Operation Smile is touching the hearts of Aggies everywhere and will touch yours through its life-changing operations. Romina Didakovic went through to learn how a little help can go a long way.
People are smiling for a good cause. These are faces of cleft-lipped children. Because of Operation Smile, they got a second chance at life. Operation Smile is a non-profit organization that helps out children and young adults with cleft lips.
All it costs is $240, and that covers the medical supplies and getting the volunteers over there, and they just volunteer their time.
At the Night of Smiles, multiple cultural clubs came to support the cause. Countries such as Africa, India, and Mexico came to support the organization. A comedy improv group came to create some laughs, while Apple took pictures on the iPad. Apple visited Operation Smiles and took some pictures to help the cause. Take a picture? Yeah. The organization has attracted students who want to help for different reasons.
Well, for me personally, I'm planning on going to dental school within the next couple years, and I'd like to actually be an oral surgeon someday and go out and perform these exact operations that we help sponsor at this point.
I came to Operation Smile because I love to travel, and it's an international organization, and my brother has a cleft lip, so I'm interested in that humanitarian work as well. I hope to one day travel with them abroad too.
Brownies and refreshments were provided, while Mona Lisa was one of the inspirations for the event. This is Romina Nadakovic, ATV News.
The Utah chapter has supported Operation Smile for 26 years. For more information, check out their website.
Did you know that you use different sides of your brain when participating in different activities? What if you could use both sides? A university department tried to do just that. Brianna followed up to find out how they did it. Brianna, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm trying to get both sides of my brain to work together. Ugh. An easier way was definitely going to the Crossroads performance last Friday night. Music, physics, and brownies, but the best part was that it got the borders between my left side of the brain and the right side of my brain to work together. Did that move you? How about this? For the first time in Logan, the Fry Street Quartet joined up with physicist Robert Davies to give a presentation about sustainability that isn't just science or art, but both. The night started off with a presentation by Davies about humans' impact on Earth. It was followed by a performance by the Fry Street Quartet, then a performance together. Both physicist and performer said involving art in a scientific concern helped bring a new perspective to an age-old issue.
Using the music and the imagery and the information in concert to try to communicate that, to get us not only to understand that this is happening, but to really feel it, and to really believe it.
It was just exciting to be asking these questions to make us consider how could we possibly be relevant to this topic, and what's the role of artists in issues that affect society. It's been a great exploration.
The performer said they hope viewers come away from this performance with the realization that together they can make a difference.
Get involved.
They need to know that there's so much that can be done, and if we work together now, we can do it.
We can't do it by ourselves. We have to do it together.
But that time. If you missed this one, don't worry about it. There will be another performance next September, but that time there will be more music, artists, and local talent.
Hey, I do a pretty mean finger painting job. Do you think maybe that could be included?
With this semester over in just a few short weeks, what do you have planned for summer? Ryan Humphrey sees what the students will be doing on campus this summer.
With temperatures warming up, people can't help but come outside. Summertime is just around the corner, and this spring semester is almost over.
There's so many summertime options available to Utah State students. Will you be going abroad, working full-time, or staying here in Logan? Let's see what some of the other students will be up to.
I get to stay here and work, except I'm really excited for my job, so it's okay. I get to work for summer playground, so I get to play with little kids.
Really just work as much as I can and hang out with my friends.
I'm going to be an EFY counselor for BYU, Brigham Young University.
Hopefully an internship in Northern Arizona, but if not, we work at Lagoon Guest Services.
With long hours, summer sales through Pinnacle Security, ADT, Dish Satellite, and others can be an effective way to earn money, but some people prefer to play during the summer.
I don't know, I think it's kind of a balance. I mean, summertime is the best time to have fun in my opinion, so you gotta have some social life during that.
I mean, if it's a fun job during the school year, I don't see why not, but I mean, if you can focus on school, I say focus on school.
But others find the summer a great time to get ahead so they can make school a priority.
Work in the summertime so I can play during school. It's a lot easier to play here versus in the summer.
I think it'd be worth it to earn it during the summer because then you can focus on school. You're not working, 2 plates at the same time.
Ryan Humphreys, ATV News.
Plenty of jobs around Logan once the majority of students leave. If you plan to stick around and check out the USU Job Board for more opportunities. Thanks for watching ATV News. I'm Randall Henry.
And I'm Bailey McMurdie.
And I'm Kelsey Keller. See you next time, Aggies.
Slow push in.